just the bevy of correct decisions that we saw from John Mattier this year at the helm of that Washington State offense would lend a lot of optimism that he is your guy, that he's the starting quarterback for Oklahoma in 2025, and that the offense goes as he goes.
Yeah, we probably have a pretty good idea of how much OU is paying John Mattier, and just because you pay someone a lot of money doesn't mean that they should be, automatically named the starter, or that there won't be a quarterback battle or anything like that. But again, Washington State's head coach just said about 30 minutes ago that they offered him a 7-figure deal. So I'm going to guess OU's offer was probably pretty healthy as well. I'm going to guess he's one of, if not the highest paid player on the team. And again, that shouldn't guarantee anything. I don't care, what era of the sport that we're in. I would just view John Mattier right now the heavy favorite to be the starting quarterback in 2025. But big year coming up, and some good news. Does this calm everyone down? Because all I saw on social media, especially on Saturday, was just, we're broke, we suck, we can't get anyone, Wisconsin stealing our tight ends, UCF, we can't even beat them for a defensive lineman. I'm just hoping that this calms everyone down a little bit. We needed some good news. I know the punter news didn't necessarily help on Saturday, but this should be news that calms everyone down, at least for a couple of days. Hopefully.
We'll see. I mean, now what everybody is going to start to wonder and have very little patience for is, all right, got to start to get the wide receivers, right? If OU doesn't add a wide receiver or two in the next 48, 72 hours, then people are going to start wondering, well, you got John Mattier. Why on earth can't you get him any receivers now? You going to throw the ball to himself?
Oh, I'm sure that's out there. Tattoo Baker says John 3:16. Tattoo Baker, you might need to make shirts that say that. I'm sure those would sell. John 3:16. Sooner Smitty says 2-star Mattier. I like it. I'd bet money Hawkins starts next year, says a texter from the 405. If this texter is willing to have a fun food bets, like we like to have with listeners from time to time, I would be interested in that. Having something on the line this year. I like that.
Well, and when we got the chance to talk to Michael Hawkins after practice on Friday, it's really, really interesting to hear the things that he has to say, because generally in this era, a guy is going to leave himself an out and say, well, yeah, we'll see how do the player equivalent of coach speak to try and indicate that, yeah, I want to compete, but if the situation isn't right, then I'll do what's best for myself. But Michael Hawkins said it repeatedly and reaffirmed it, is that, no, this is where I want to be. I want to be at Oklahoma. I want to be the quarterback at Oklahoma. I think we need more than one guy here. Competition is how it should be. Nobody should ever be handed the job, so let's compete. I don't much care who they bring in. And so having that mentality, I think that certainly that is what has enabled Michael Hawkins to go as far as he has to this point in his young football career. And it's refreshing to know that, at least from everything that he has said and people in his camp have said, it's not going to be the type of deal where if he loses the battle to John Mattier, he's taking his ball and going home, Tyler. Yeah. No, he's going to be a program guy through and through for OU.
405 with a great point. Maybe this sealed the deal for OU in the John Mattier recruitments. The number 10 is available for Mattier since Bauer Sharp left for LSU.
That is true. That is true. Maybe that's why they processed Bauer Sharp.
Sorry, pal. We need your number 10 to be available. All right.
Yeah.
So
they said, hey, you want to take jersey number 85? No. All right. Well, you're gone.
Mattier will start, but nothing says they can't work Hawkins into the schemes from time to time. That's true, Sooner Gundy. Monster Truck Guy says, I'll bet an entire case of Monster energy drinks. Mattier isn't getting paid to be the backup. So Monster Truck Guy wants in on the action. He's willing to bet an entire case of Monster energy drinks. Not something that I constantly consume or really ever consume, but if anyone is interested out there in taking Monster Truck Guy's bet, that is currently an option for you.
Puerto Rican Sooner says, there's going to be a Mattier in my beer by the end of the week. I just hope they are happy Mattiers.
Mm-hmm. Expectations, he's not going to play in the bowl game, correct?
That is correct.
On the 27th?
Yeah. That is correct. Not going to play in the bowl.
John and Blanchard, how do we follow on YouTube? Today's live video is up now. KREF Sports, John. KREF Sports is where you can watch Locked In every single day from 2 to 3 on YouTube. A lot of fun there, and I'll try to get to some YouTube comments today. I am at Caven's group today. Gary and the team working hard this holiday season, as they always do. We'll talk to Gary later on in the show. And it's also United Way Day today on the Ref, and Gary and his family a very big part of what goes on over there at United Way. So can't wait to talk to my pal Darren Wilson later this hour, get us caught up on what's going on at United Way in Norman, and certainly Gary as well, as I'm out here every single Monday. Miami fans were in my mentions this weekend. I don't know if you had a John Mattier post out there and Miami fans saw it, but essentially the Miami fans were, it's hilarious that John Mattier is going to enter in the portal only for Oklahoma to not have enough money to sign him, and he comes to Miami. How you think they're feeling right now, the Miami fans, about this whole thing? Not great?
Oh, that non-contact tag is going to hit like crack, isn't it, Tyler?
Mm-hmm. It's going to be great. I can't wait. I hate Miami. I've always hated Miami ever since I've started watching college football. So to disappoint Miami for a player, that'll do it for me.
And to be clear, there's a very specific reason I said it's going to hit like crack. Lost City Sooner on the text line says, pretty sure Bauer Sharp ruined 10 forever. You think about this, Tyler. The last 3 offensive players to wear number 10 at the University of Oklahoma, Bauer Sharp, Jackson Arnold, and Theo Weiss.
So we need John Mattier to revive the number 10 is what you're saying.
To redeem the number 10.
I mean, that once worn by Blake Bell, once worn by Torrance Marshall. I mean, the number 10 historically has seen some good days, but not necessarily recently.
I mean, Kip Lewis is all right.
Yeah, Kip Lewis is pretty good too. Really good, actually. Sooner Lisa from BA, who cares about the number of stars? We've seen the number of stars doesn't necessarily mean they'll be average or a barn burner. Coach Stoops built a national championship roster from 2 stars or lower.
Okay, let's not get carried away. Coach Stoops built a national championship roster with some 2 stars, certainly. There were also some really good football players on that championship team.
Yeah,
really
100%.
good football players. Tattoo Baker said he needs to wear number 6. Hey, Deion Burks just switched to 4, so 6 is available too. You want to truly embrace the Baby Baker persona.
Tell me how you feel about this comparison that I did not make. Brian Bosworth joined us on Friday, and everyone's been making the, Baker Mayfield comparisons to John Mattier.
Yeah.
But the way the boss sees it, when he looks at his running style and how he can just kind of, stop, start back up again, change directions, all that, he sees a little Barry Sanders in John Mattier's running style.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, no, you heard that right. Barry Sanders. How does that hit?
I don't even know how to process that.
It's fascinating, if nothing else, isn't it? Like, I didn't
It is
expect
truly
to
a
hear a
fascinating
Barry Sanders
comparison.
comparison.
And I mean, heck, Boz played against Barry Sanders, so I'm not going to tell him he's wrong. It's just, you could have given me 1,000 guesses as to who Brian Bosworth was going to compare John Mattier to, and I wouldn't have landed on Barry Sanders.
I like it. No, when Brian said it on Friday, I'm like, oh, all right, yeah, that's going to be a great social media clip. Let's go. All right, 405-651-3439 is the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. I'm at Caven's today. Remember, you don't need Caven's until you need Caven's. But when you need Caven's, oh boy, do you need Caven's. 405-573-3048. Put their number in your phone, 405-573-3048. We'll talk more OU in the transfer portal, who's incoming, who's outgoing. We'll do it all next right here on the Ref.
Orange Down Apple Pie Liquor is not your grandma's apple pie unless your grandma was a moonshiner with a PhD in flavor. This all-natural 6-time distilled spirit is sure to light up any party, tailgate, or special occasion. Whether toasting a touchdown or yelling at the umps because Spike was safe, Horns Down Apple Pie is the perfect drink for celebrating the highs and lows of life in Oklahoma. Horns Down celebrates all of you who cheer from the berm, tailgate, on Lindsay Street, and wreak havoc on social media. You can find our red bottle at your local liquor store or search for your closest location at drinkhornsdown.com.
March 15th. And Chicago, March 28th. Riverwind is OKC's favorite casino experience.
A happy place comes in many colors. One that leaves you feeling refreshed. Something that gets you all fired up. Or gives you the space to chill. Whatever your color, bring happiness home with CertaPro Painters and make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Are you looking for that gift for the biggest OU or golf fan in your life? The Pro Shop at Jimmy Austin OU Golf Club is your place to go this holiday season. With brands such as Lululemon, Red & West, Travis Matthews, Peter Millar, Johnny O, and so much more. Maybe you need a hat or a belt or a polo or a sweatshirt. You can find it all at the Jimmy Austin OU Golf Club. And it's not just for men. They have apparel for youth and women. So when you want the best OU apparel you can't find anywhere else, the place to go is the Jimmy Austin OU Golf Club.
Hey, it's Mike Steely here for Cavens Group. Has it ever happened to you? You get home from the weekend, you arrive back at work on Monday, and your office is full of water. Not good. Now we're in that time of the year where pipes or sprinkler lines will freeze, and this can lead to a ton of damage to your home or business. Plus, if it's not cleaned up properly, that can lead to even more costly repairs in the future. Call Cavens Group today at 405-573-3048 or visit cavensgroup.com.
Tired of your current living situation? Now is the best time to make a move. Interest rates are dropping and Home Creations is offering the best financing around with rates as low as 3.625%. This will save you hundreds per month on your brand new Home Creations home. Live like a champion today by calling Holly at 405-364-9999 for full details.
364-9999 means Home Creations.
APR 6.508%.
Toyotathon's Christmas special is here. Celebrate this holiday season by saving up to $6,504 on a new 2024 Tundra SR5 CrewMax 4x4. Plus, we cover your taxes as part of this exclusive holiday deal. Make your season merrier with Toyotathon's limited time deals on new Toyota vehicles. Get our exclusive offers on new Tundras through the new year at Fowler Toyota Norman, proud sponsor of OU Athletics.
'Tis the season to eat, drink, and be merry at Coach's Corner in Norman. Take a break from the holiday hustle and join them for Soul Food Sunday. Then stay and watch every snap with the NFL Sunday Ticket and enjoy the coldest beer this side of the North Pole. Planning on a holiday party? Coach's Corner has you covered for Christmas and New Year's. Plus, mark your calendars for December 22nd at 3 p.m. They're hosting a bicycle giveaway just in time for the holidays. Find us at Lindsay and Barry in Norman. Coach's Corner, where every day is game day and every holiday is a celebration.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Locked in with McComas and Thune, live on the Rev for the Homeless Sooner fans. Tyler McComas, Parker Thune, Ref Army, listening worldwide via the free KREF app. Just search KREF in the App Store. Omaha, Nebraska is tuned in today. Washington, D.C., Shelburne, Indiana, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, Webster, New York, Indio, California, Cushing, Oklahoma, all tuned in today via the free KREF app. And our Ref Army locator is brought to you by Hornsdown Apple Pie. 100 locations throughout the state now have Hornsdown apple pie in stock. See where it is available throughout the state, drinkhornsdown.com. That's drinkhornsdown.com. If you need it to be official, it is official. According to Max Olson, Washington State quarterback John Mattier has officially entered the transfer portal. One of the most coveted quarterbacks in the country is now on the market. He put up 3,139 passing yards, 827 rushing yards, and 44 total touchdowns in his first season as Washington State starter. So you said earlier that 24/7 has him not as the number one quarterback available, the number one overall player available, correct?
That is correct, yes.
Man, big time right there, man. Big time. John Mattier, the number one player available in the transfer portal. And I think a lot of people are very happy, very optimistic. Like, who do we think was in the mix here? I know he just now entered into the transfer portal. Did it say, by the way, that he's entered with a no-contact tag on that? Has anyone reported that?
I have not seen anything regarding a no-contact tag. Max Olson, to my knowledge, is the only one that's reported he's officially entered the portal. So I don't know yet if all the details on that are clear. But from what we were told, it's going to be a no-contact tag, and even if for whatever reason there isn't a no-contact tag, it's going to be a very, very short period of time that he's in the transfer portal.
Yeah, so we expect
he's going to
Oklahoma. Yeah, expect to hear Oklahoma by end of the week, maybe in the next 48 hours. Miami pursued him heavily. There was a thought that USC was going to be active in this. Who were some of the main schools that OU was battling outside Washington State? The school he was previously at.
Say this again now.
Who outside Washington State did OU really have to battle with for this one behind the scenes? USC thought to be a player in the beginning. Miami fans all over the place, mainly Miami. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Miami loses out on this Washington State quarterback, thankfully. Eugene Brooks is in the transfer portal. That one broke a couple of hours ago. Super impressive at the Under Armour event last year. And this is a loss that, just doesn't necessarily kill you up front on the offensive line, but one that's like, oh, okay, well, kind of initially throughout the recruiting process, I think we were excited about his potential after what he did in Orlando about a year ago. But Eugene Brooks, is there a thought as to why he has entered in the portal today?
Well, the reality is he wasn't going to crack it at Oklahoma. And that became apparent to him. That became apparent to the program, and both sides were cool parting ways. What's interesting is that, and I mentioned this in the 12 o'clock hour, going back a ways, but with B.J. Brooks, the one thing you didn't feel like you had to question coming out of high school was the work ethic, because he'd successfully shaved off almost 90 pounds of bad weight at one point to get down to the 320 range. And he was just stonewalling dudes at the Under Armour All-American game last January, Tyler. He was fantastic. Best offensive lineman there, in the eyes of some folks, by a substantial margin. But he got to Oklahoma, and the work ethic just wasn't the same for whatever reason. And so I don't know where he lands next, but it is to the benefit of both parties, it would seem, for the change of scenery to occur.
More reports coming out that John Mattier has entered into the transfer portal. So more and more coming out. But again, Jake Dickert, the head coach there at Washington State over 30 minutes ago, saying that, yeah, that was the case. But it's officially breaking now. So that's going to dominate the headlines today. I do want to give what came out Saturday its due diligence, because I think it is a big break for OU and a big thing to happen. A lot of times during the whole transfer portal cycle and players that are draft eligible, a lot of times the best thing that you can do during this time of the year is to get some of the players that you had back from the previous year's team. And I know Deion Burks didn't necessarily light up the stat sheet. He was unavailable for most of the year. But, Parker, I think you know what I think of Deion Burks. I think, people who listen on a regular basis know how highly I think of Deion Burks as a wide receiver. So officially getting him back on Saturday and the announcement that he made with the video, I think that's a huge deal. And if John Mattier is the quarterback that I think that he is, along with an offensive system that I think is going to put Burks in better spots to make plays, if Burks stays healthy, I think that he's in a really good position to have the year next year that I was hoping he was going to have this last year, first year in the SEC.
Yeah, if Deion Burks is fully healthy for a full season, you give him a guy like John Mattier at the quarterback position, I think there's immense potential there for Burks to be one of the best wide receivers in the country, Tyler. He was, as I recall, the number one wide receiver in the winter cycle last year when OU beat out Texas to land his services when he elected to transfer from Purdue. So he's a guy with immense talent, immense upside. He got a raw deal this year, as did every receiver for the most part. But not only did Burks have to deal with the instability at quarterback and the complete inability to establish any sort of consistent aerial attack, but he also had injuries of his own that he had to work through.
Yep.
And whether that was the thigh thing, the concussion he suffered against Missouri. It just wasn't a very fortuitous year for Deion Burks. It's something he's more than capable of shaking back from, and I expect that he will, as some would argue, the clear-cut wide receiver one in this offensive system next year, pending who Oklahoma brings in via the portal.
740, State of Ohio. As happy as I am, we get John Mattier. Got a feel for Wazu fans. Their conference died. Pierce State School left. Their head coach last year left. Stud quarterback transferred to Miami. And now their OC and stud quarterback are gone. All of that has happened in the past 14 months.
Yeah.
That is a lot of change. What, they win 8 regular season games, though? So at least they had found some success this year.
They were 8-1. 8-1 and angling for a spot in the college football playoff. And then from the second Ben Arbuckle's name was linked to the Oklahoma OC vacancy, they finished the season 0-3.
But along with the John Mattier news, getting Deion Burks back officially on Saturday, getting a punter on Saturday as well, who was, 17th in the country in yards per punt, 45.4, Jacob Ulrich. OU got an offensive lineman today from Stanford who's played a couple of years there.
They did, Luke Baklenko, and I don't know if Luke Baklenko is the guy that you are cementing in place as your starting right tackle for next season, but he's going to come in and he's going to be competitive, and does he beat out Jake Taylor for that spot? I don't know. He's got 14 career collegiate starts to his name. He's been solid, not spectacular, but solid during his 2 years at Stanford. He comes to OU with 2 years of eligibility left, and with the whole situation at right tackle being what it is and regarding the possibilities as to how it could shake out, there's very much the possibility that Baklenko could be your starting right tackle, and then Jake Taylor slides back into guard. I don't know how many will recall this, but Jake Taylor has played guard at Oklahoma in the past. Played some guard as a true freshman in 2022, played some guard as a redshirt freshman in 2023. So he is more than capable of playing the interior, and that may be what happens if Baklenko shows up and demonstrates that he is good enough to beat out all comers for that right tackle gig.
Jamie in White House says, until we see officially Mattier is coming, I'm not celebrating. PTSD DJ Hicks. So he's still hurting us today. The whole DJ Hicks saga.
And it's understandable. That sting is going to linger for a long time. Sooner Dude says, is he better than Spencer Brown? Serious question. Well, I sure hope so.
Pete Nakos apparently is reporting that there was not a no contact tag on John Mattier's portal entry.
Well, that sucks. That differs from what people in his camp were saying yesterday evening. But again, you saw the very person, Pete Nakos, that said there, or confirmed, I guess, that there was no do not contact tag. He put in a prediction for Oklahoma pretty immediately upon Mattier officially entering the portal. So, semantics being what they are, we all know at this point where this thing is headed.
Krabby, sooner these young offensive line studs are not going to stick around for more than 2 years if Bill Bedenbaugh does not get them on the field sooner. And when we get 1-year rentals out of the portal each season, what is the solution? Well, I mean, is that – okay, I see what you're saying, Krabby Sooner, but is that the reason why B.J. Brooks entered into the transfer portal necessarily?
No.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like that's necessarily the case. I mean, I see your point, Krabby Sooner, but I don't know if it necessarily applies to Eugene Brooks entering the portal today.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't apply in B.J. Brooks' case, and look, this is just kind of the way of the world, and it will be moving forward. As guys who don't get on the field early at their institution of choice, there's going to be a good chance those guys are in the transfer portal by, year 3, end of year 2. And so Bill Bedenbaugh is going to have to keep going back to the transfer portal. I know he doesn't like it. I know OU doesn't like it. But this is the game, and you got to play it. As long as college football is what it is today, then you just got to get with the times, and you got to stay with the times. And that's what Oklahoma has done and will continue to do.
Some news that happened transfer portal-wise over the weekend. Tulsa defensive lineman R.J. Jackson to UCF. He had an OU offer. Miami of Ohio wide receiver Reggie Virgil to Texas Tech. Ball State tight end Tanner Koziel to Wisconsin. All three of those guys had OU offers. And, of course, Jackson Arnold heading to Auburn. I think a lot of people predicted that Arnold was going to end up at Mississippi State with Jeff Levy. That does not happen. Auburn was making it really, really difficult. I'm sure Auburn had a very, very competitive NIL offer.
Yep.
And, boy, they celebrated that kid on Saturday, did they not? I felt like I saw about 4 or 5 videos from Auburn's official football Twitter account saying, "We got our guy, let's go."
Oh, they're excited, and understandably so. There's a lot of potential with Jackson Arnold. You just got to unlock the potential, and you got to surround him with a better supporting cast than he had this past season at Oklahoma. The doomest doomer of them all in the 918 does make a good point. Doesn't Mattier need to take at least 3 bogus visits to other schools and play in their bowl game to throw off the scent of what he's doing, which is commit to OU, #muleshoe?
Yes. I think for all of our sanity, though, this one needs to hurry up and wrap up pretty quickly, right?
No joke.
Let's not let this one drag on to like Thursday or Friday or anything like that. And that's how the rumors start, right? That would not be enjoyable. Maggie says, how about Hawkins with the quarterback coach and Arbuckle as the OC and his growth? I'm excited by that prospect. Yeah, no, 100%. Like it's hard. Well, I don't know if it's more difficult nowadays with the portal to have, good quarterback depth. But if John Mattier is indeed headed to Oklahoma and you factor in, Michael Hawkins Jr., who's going to be on the team as well, like Parker, I think that's a really good one too. Now, Hawkins is still young, and he had some bright moments this year and some moments that clearly he'd like to have back. But with an OC and a quarterback developer, 2 of them, that I think will only help him get better regardless of how much he plays this year. That 1-2 at quarterback, I'm not going to tell you it's the best 1-2 QB duo in the country, but it's pretty good, man. That's a good 1-2 QB duo.
Oh, it's fantastic. And I think the Sooners are going to add another transfer. It's going to have to be like a Davis Bevel type of guy because you're not going to convince anybody right now showing up that they have a chance to beat out John Mattier and or Michael Hawkins for the starting job. So it's going to have to be a guy that's content to come in and just be a backup, be a depth guy. I don't know who that might be right now for Oklahoma, but I would expect that they're rostering 4 scholarship quarterbacks by the time spring ball rolls around. And that'll be that. John Mattier feels like the guy. For Hawkins, man, the tricky thing is going to be convincing him to stick around in the long term, because even for a guy that has said all the right things and means it when he says all the right things, Tyler, at a certain point in time, there may come a juncture at which Michael Hawkins has to make a business decision. Let's say John Matier's your starter in 2025 and plays well, but not well enough to enter the NFL draft and comes back in 2026. At that point, Michael Hawkins is going on year 3, and so you got to make a calculated decision. Are you going to stick around and maybe have 1 year to be the starter at Oklahoma, or are you going to go somewhere else where you could get on the field a little bit sooner?
Cherokee Sooner says, bold prediction for 2025. Peyton Bowen picks off Jackson Arnold and Norman, and then Eli Bowen picks off Bauer Sharp on a failed trick play at Norman. I like that, Cherokee Sooner. That's great. Eli Bowen intercepting Bauer Sharp on a failed trick play in Norman. Boy, that would go over quite well. I'd enjoy that quite a bit. I guess Patrick just texted us that Wake Forest head coach Dave Clawson is stepping down. Interesting. So,
wow,
got another job open.
Wonder what he's doing.
That's there. No clue. No idea. 405-651-3439. Keep the text coming on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. More transfer portal, John Mattier, everything going on with OU coming up next. Keep it locked on the Ref for the home of Sooner fans.
The word is
Orange Down Apple Pie Liquor is not your grandma's apple pie unless your grandma was a moonshiner with a PhD in flavor. This all-natural 6-time distilled spirit is sure to light up any party, tailgate, or special occasion. Whether toasting a touchdown or yelling at the ums because Spike was safe, Horns Down Apple Pie is the perfect drink for celebrating the highs and lows of life in Oklahoma. Horns Down celebrates all of you who cheer from the berm, tailgate, on Lindsay Street, and wreak havoc on social media. You can find our red bottle at your local liquor store or search for your closest location at drinkhornsdown.com.
Make the winning call today with K&B Homes. Call them today at 405-808-9005 or visit kbhomesllc.com to kick off your project.
The Mont invites you to come by and enjoy our high-quality food and drinks in our historic atmosphere. The Mont has won numerous awards, including Best Restaurant in Norman, Best Appetizer for our great queso, Best Exotic Drink for the original swirl, the Best Patio Dining for our beautifully landscaped patio. Come see the Town Tavern OU football scoreboards dating back to 1947. We'll see you at the Mont on the corner of Boyd and Classen, or call us at 329-3330.
Hi everyone, it's TJ Perry here from the T-Row in the Morning Show for my friends over at Joe's Wines and Spirits. The great staff at Joe's Place would like to thank their loyal customers and wish everyone a happy holiday. And speaking of the holidays, whether you need great gift ideas or you're hosting a holiday party, Joe's Wines is there to help with their great selection and most of all, great prices. So do what I do. Head over to Joe's Wines and Spirits, 1330 East Alameda Street, right here in Norman, or visit their Facebook page for all their monthly specials. A happy holidays from Joe's Wines and Spirits.
It's football time in Oklahoma. While you enjoy the game and tailgate, let Scissortail Roofing and Construction handle your roofing or construction project from start to finish. Whether it's a damage from a storm or a full construction project, we have you covered. Call us today at 405-928-8089 or visit us online at scissortailroofing.com for a free estimate. Hit by hail? Call Scissortail today, your trusted local roofing and construction company. Start 2025 off on the right foot at Sooner Bowling Center in Norman. Sooner Bowling is now accepting reservations for New Year's Eve with special 90-minute lane bookings available online. Spots are filling up quickly, so be sure to reserve yours today. With your reservation, you'll receive 90 minutes of bowling and shoe rental for up to 6 people per lane. Their full-service grill and bar will be open, allowing you to celebrate in style this New Year's Eve at Sooner Bowling Center in Norman. For more information, visit SoonerBowl.com.
Come see the nation's top collegiate gymnasts at the Sprouts Farmers Market Collegiate Quad on January 10th and 11th at the Paycom Center in Oklahoma City, featuring Oklahoma, LSU, Cal, Utah, and Arkansas, plus 7 other of the nation's top teams. This event cannot be missed, and tickets are on sale now. Visit SproutsCollegiateQuad.com to experience all the gymnastics action.
Christmas has come early at Bob Hurley RV. Get the all-new 2025 Coachman Catalina for only $115 per month. Plus, don't miss our year-end sales event with incredible deals on over 300 RVs. Get America's best-selling fifth wheel, the Keystone Cougar, for just $249 per month. Kick off a new year of adventures with Bob Hurley RV. Visit us between Britain and Wilshire under the giant American flag.
Offer with approved credit. See dealer for details. Are you looking for a luxury apartment for rent in Norman? The Falls at Brookhaven offers stunning 2- and 3-bedroom spacious floor plans with large walk-in closets, washer and dryer hookup, and a fabulous kitchen in a well-maintained, calm environment. From plush carpet to sleek stainless steel appliances to a pool, 24-hour fitness, and 2 dog parks, the Falls at Brookhaven has it all. Call our locally owned and operated community at 405-701-8233 or go online to thefallsatbrookhaven.com for a free tour and see what living in luxury is like.
Locked in with McComas and Thune, live on the ref for the Homeless Sooner fans. Darren Wilson, my pal Darren Wilson, he joins us now because it is United Way Day right here at the ref, and excited to talk to Darren for a few minutes about all the cool things going on at United Way of Norman. And Gary Cavins, I believe, is going to join us as well, which would be really fun. Okay, Darren, I heard the news a few weeks back, and I was excited, man. Because you were at United Way at one time. Now you're back as, CEO, president of United Way Norman. It just made me happy that you're back. But tell us all why you decided to come back.
Yeah, I appreciate that so much. I'd ran 7 campaigns with United Way, stepped out to consider other options, and really just identified pretty soon that this is where I'm supposed to be. I mean, this type of work it's my passion. I get up every day because of hearing the stories and the impact of the work that the nonprofits in our community do every single day. And that's what I want to be a part of. I have a great team at United Way. We had an incredible campaign chair this year. Jason Casey kind of took the reins and really did a wonderful job along with the staff at United Way and kept things moving. But really, when I had the opportunity to come back and lead the organization, it was easy for me because it's my heart, my passion is in this work, and I just want to see lives transformed in a really, really positive way.
Gary Cavens is alongside us as well, who's a board member at United Way, Norman. And all I hear from Gary, or what we mostly talk about, is 24/7, 365. That's a life commitment.
Yeah.
To running the show here at Cavens. So you got enough going on, Gary. How'd you find the time? Why did you decide to join the board at United Way?
Well, he sweet talked me in.
Okay, I figured as much.
It's hard to say no to Darren. Let's be honest.
A little arm twisting going on for sure. So
no, he's amazing, and he asked me and Jessica, and Jessica was like, "No, I think Gary can handle it." And so here I am. But no, I mean, he's great. United Way's great. But one thing that I have seen, I talk to a lot of people that are on a lot of boards, and I'm around people all the time. And it seems like across the board, a lot of the nonprofits are all kind of hitting a wall this year. They're not getting the funding that they've gotten in the past from the community, from donations and stuff like that. So it's not just United Way, it's everybody. And what that's going to do is this next year, it's going to create a huge need that, all these nonprofits can't afford to help. And that is a horrible place to be. So if you're looking for somewhere to put some year-end, if you're a business owner or personally, if you're looking to, do an end-of-the-year donation, help out the community, help out people, the United Way is a great one to do because United Way takes the money and divvies it out to all the other nonprofits and really helps, I can get into all of it, but they really helps. But right now there is a need, and it's not just getting where we need to be, our goals from United Way. It's all these other nonprofits. And I've had I have 5 conversations over the last 2 weeks of people that are on other boards of nonprofits, and they're not hitting their goals for this year. And that's going to be a problem because they're not hitting their goal. The United Way's not hitting their goal. And so it's really important if you're out there, and I know everybody's donating to NIL right now. We've got to get that money in that account so we can buy these players. But we could really use the money for the kids, for the families, for everybody out there that needs the help, especially this time of year. So if you're looking to give an end-of-year donation, call the United Way. Darren will give you the number. Call them, make the donation. You're going to make a difference in your community, and it's super important right now. People don't understand it, but it is super important right now.
Sounds like a board member to me.
I'm
Dang,
telling
how about
you,
that?
I'm like,
Darren,
wow.
you got anything else to say? Or what?
Let's tap out at this point. No, I appreciate Gary and serving on the board and his commitment really to this community and not just to United Way. Gary and Jessica are generous to multiple nonprofits and really do a wonderful job, as is KREF. The ownership over there kind of carrying on the Randy LaFoon legacy, what Brian and Casey Vineyard do for KREF. And I'll even go further. All of you, every employee at KREF supports the United Way.
For several years now, yeah.
Several years, it's been 100% participation from your team. And I just want you to know how much we appreciate that and how far it goes. And like Gary said, it is a very challenging environment right now. And we have we're calling past donors who I had a conversation the other day with a donor that said, I used to be able to give, and now I actually am one that needs help. And it's just a situation of kind of the times that we live in with the spike in inflation and all of the things that it's just harder to make your dollars stretch, and we understand that. But we also want to make sure that all of our agencies are funded in a way that we can support the community. In 2017, when I came on my first campaign, I was blown away by the fact that we helped 57,000 people in our community. This last year, 84,000 people received help from United Way and our partner agencies. That's the growth, and that's the way that the need has continued to elevate. And it's hard to imagine 84,000 people in Norman and our surrounding areas that really need help.
That's the stadium. You fill up the stadium.
That is the stadium. That's the number of people that we help each year, but we can't do it without the support of our community. And so I would just ask, the number one reason people don't give to charity is because they say nobody asked them to. Guess what? We're here today to ask. If you haven't given or you want to help, I just ask you to go to our website at unitedwaynorman.org. You can give at unitedwaynorman.org/give, or you can call our office at 405-329-2025. And just know that every gift goes so far.
Center Bump says, can Darren catch or block?
Probably
so
neither.
You might get an NIL deal and a United Way donation.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
People,
that's kind of what I'm thinking. We can do a 2-for-1 maybe. I don't know. I'll do anything for money right now. So I'll give both of it a try.
Maybe you and John Mattier will have a good chemistry down the field or something like that. Darren's not just an OU fan. Darren's a big OU fan.
This is
Thursday of OU Ole Miss. He texts me in the morning, hey, man, where you at? I'm in Memphis. Like, dude, I'm not getting there till tomorrow, but that's awesome that you're already out there. How was that trip for you, outside of the second half of the game?
Let's not even talk about the second half. It was a great trip. Certainly, we had a great time in the environment, but I still – this is home, man. Palace on the Prairie, I don't think it gets any better. You think about the OU environment of that Alabama game, it doesn't get better than that.
Seth from the 918 saying, I want to use my money for a defensive tackle. But on a serious note, though, what's the best way to donate?
Absolutely.
So UnitedWayNorman.org.
UnitedWayNorman.org is the best. Easiest. It's also on KREF. If you guys have the app or a way to get to the KREF social media, there is a QR code up as well, so you can give that way as well. But thank you so much.
What are ways to help United Way of Norman? Outside of giving money is great.
Yeah.
But if that's not a way that maybe you can help out, or you want to give money and you want to help out in other ways, how can you do that?
I say in 3 easy ways: give, advocate, and volunteer. If you can give, if you can do all 3, we appreciate that. But if you can't give, if you're one of those in the situations where maybe you used to give and just can't now, then we ask you to volunteer. Your hands equal money, and the work that you can do in the community is great. Our 27 partner agencies need help. So we have on our website, we have a volunteer portal that will allow you to kind of match what your talents and what your passions are, along with the 27 different nonprofits that we provide help and support to. And then lastly, if you can't do either give or volunteer, then I would just say advocate. Have conversations with your friends, your neighbors, your family that, you know what, I heard today on the radio that United Way supports 84,000 people in our community who need help. That's awesome. Anybody, you got any extra dollars in your wallet you can give? If you do, advocate for us. Share with people how they can support the work and give to United Way.
I wish everyone could see the video and the presentation that Stacy Bruce and the Bridget. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it's powerful.
If you just saw that one time, you'd say. And I believe we're talking to Stacy.
Yeah, Stacy's coming on. Stacy's coming on, and not to steal the thunder there, and I don't know that she'll talk about it. I attended my son's graduation from OU on Saturday, and also in the crowd that day was Stacy Bruce. And Stacy is the executive director of Bridges, who is a place that houses homeless high school kids. So Stacy had a girl came to her junior year in high school, needed a place, wanted to finish school, and Stacy sat in the audience on Saturday and watched this girl graduate from OU.
That is incredible.
So, and those things do not happen without the support of our community. We are the largest single funder to most of our 27 nonprofits, including Bridges.
Pastor Andy from BA says, Darren is the real deal. Gave me his season tickets back in 2012. Support them. You gave someone your season tickets in 2012, or do you not remember that? I don't know. Well, if Pastor Andy says it's true, then it's true.
I do know. Okay, I know where Pastor Andy is. Yeah, he was my pastor at First Baptist Church in Ponca City, I believe. And I know he's moved since then, and definitely hooked him up with some tickets to an OU game. Absolutely.
I believe Crimson just asked, what does United Way do?
Yeah, I think the easiest way to describe United Way and our work, we kind of act as the hub or the nucleus of the nonprofit sector. So we are a fundraising organization that raises money and then provides support to 27 different nonprofits who absolutely rely on us to make sure that their work is carried out. So it's everything from Meals on Wheels to Big Brothers Big Sisters, Boys and Girls Club, Mary Abbott Children's House. All of those organizations in Norman are partners of United Way, and we work really hard to make sure that they have the funds that they need to carry out their work and mission to really help people who oftentimes we see on their darkest days.
Sooner Bump says, folks, let's do all we can to help. When we were in high school, most of us never had to know what being homeless was. Yeah, 100%.
Very true. Very true.
100%. I'm interested in doing that 24-hour radiothon to benefit United Way at Norman.
I mean, that
is a commitment. I hope I can make it through it. There's a guy that did it in Chicago a couple of times, and I really got to research how we did it, but something that if we could do every single year, that'd be a lot of fun. I just need some help. That's all I need to do 24 hours straight, man. Maybe Gary will just let me stay in here for 24 hours the entire time and do the show.
You can see us coming in and out at 2 o'clock in the morning.
It is
4 o'clock in the morning.
24/7, right?
That's right.
Chapstick says OU could use Darren's daughter. Kid's legit fast and has great hands, just a little undersized.
This is true.
Nice little scouting report there.
This is true. My daughter's a basketball player right now. My son plays football for Noble High School, and my kids somehow, and I'm not sure how, but they got the athletic gene, and they do pretty well.
And then I don't even need to read who signed this at the bottom. If it's J.R. Ewing that's being texted about, I know it's
Come on, Goodspeed.
Ask Darren if he thinks J.R. Ewing would donate to United Way.
I think he would give his belt buckle for sure.
All right. Well, appreciate you guys and everything you do. Certainly to you, Darren, and to Gary as well for doing a fantastic job there as a board member. You guys are awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you.
One more time. How
Yes.
can people get involved?
Yeah, UnitedWayNorman.org is the website. /give is our giving page, or you can certainly call the office as well, 405-329-2025, or any of the Ref social media pages as well.
Yeah, at KREF Sports on Twitter. I just put that one up about 15, 20 minutes ago or so you can find that there. Darren Wilson, Gary Cavens, you guys are awesome. Thanks as always.
Awesome.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right, The Rush is coming up next. More John Mattier, more OU transfer portal. Keep those texts coming on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. We'll do it for the next 3 hours right here on the Ref for the home of Sooner fans.